All right. Hello, everybody. This is another episode of the Nothing Serious podcast, episode 12. And on my panel today, I have Miss Callie,
Hey everybody.
and also I have Miss Angie. I have Miss Angie B.
Hey,
So I'm gonna have someone else join. They're supposed to be joining soon, but if not, we're gonna let it do what it do. But we do have some really good topics today. Uh, Miss Miss Angie had a question that she wanted to ask. So go ahead and ask the very first question, not the last one, the first one.
okay. So the first question is about dating expectations. When you're dating, at what time should you start really saying, the word that they use now is intentional?
Hmm.
When should you disclose that? Do you have to disclose it? And that's pretty much the first question I had.
Okay, Callie, you want to answer that first one?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So, the new word they use now is intentional, meaning that the dating is leading to something.
Hmm.
So when you're dating, are you obligated to say anything? Say that you're intentional, or like, should you just be honest, basically, is what I'm saying. Do you have to be honest? Should you be honest? And at what point should this conversation come out? Like, if you know you don't never want to get married and you dating somebody that want to get married, should you go ahead and tell them up front so they can go ahead and move on with their life? Or like at what point do you say how you really feel about stuff?
Well, I say dating is like what's the screening. You know, this is where you try to find out, is this somebody I want to continue seeing or not? So based off of the information that's provided, that's when I would give more information or the intention of what I want. Because I've had people tell me, "Hey, I don't want to get married." Okay, well, this has been fun, and I move on because that's what I want. But if you tell me that, then I'm gonna leave you alone. No need to waste your time if you just want something casual. Because that's not what I'm looking for.
Right. But some people will like try to goalpost you. They'll say that, they'll
Hmm.
give you like a timeline, and then the timeline is there, and then they move the timeline back. So that's why I was just trying to like find out in the dating world, you know, do you have to even tell anybody?
You don't. I don't think you have to tell anybody. Some things, like I said, this is your vetting period. See if you actually
Hmm.
really like this person. If you like them, then you move forward and continue. And if they feel the same way, then we do what we do.
Hmm.
I don't think there has to be anything said. In 2 years we're going to be married. Says who?
Hmm.
Who decided that? I didn't say okay to that. So
Okay. Um, I believe that you probably should go or tell the person your intentions the first date. The reason why I say that is because it depends on what your what your intentions is with that person. Like if you're just looking for a good time, then you shouldn't disclose that. You know what I'm saying? If this person is just somebody, hey, I just want to get my rocks off and go on about my business, then you don't really have to have that conversation about what your intentions are because you already have stated what your intentions are. Now, if it's somebody that you feel like is a as an option for long term, then you definitely should talk about what your intentions are, and then see if it matches up. If it doesn't, then you guys go your separate ways. You know, a lot of times people don't be forthcoming with their intentions, and that's why people get their time wasted and all that stuff.
right.
So I
So,
believe that's a good thing to talk about the first date, personally.
yeah. So I guess am I the anybody else? I guess it's just three of us still. So
Yeah.
I kind of agree. I feel like So as a woman, sometimes when you tell men that you're looking to have a committed relationship,
Hmm.
have a partner, I use I want to be like Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell because I don't know if I want to get married again. I have found sometimes that scares men off.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they say is, well, we got to be friends first, that's true. Like that's a given. We're not in high school. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I think going forward, maybe it's kind of a weeding out process. Like it's like a balance scale because I've sometimes been afraid to just be forthright with how I really feel. But then sometimes I feel like, well, maybe you should go ahead and say it. And that way the wrong ones will go ahead and get.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. As I said, sometimes it just doesn't need to be divulged at that particular time, especially not the first couple dates.
Yeah.
You're just still trying to figure out, do I really want to be bothering? Just because he looked good doesn't mean he is good, you know?
And
But
you know what? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I have so much respect. So I dated someone one time. They told me probably on date number two that they never want to get married again. I don't care how great the relationship goes, how much time we put in, it's not going to happen. And for me, I just respect that so much because it puts the power back in my hands to decide
Hmm.
if I'm going to stay or go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
I
being
respect that more. I'm sorry, I respect that more than the goal posters.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we're all 40 plus, so we don't have a lot. We got a lot more years behind us than in front of us, and we don't have time to be wasted. I'd rather somebody be upfront and tell me what they want or what they're looking for. Now, generally, it depends on how you meet the person. Um, if you meet the person on a dating app or something, more likely there's some conversation before you guys set up the first initial meeting. So you pretty much know what the intentions are. Like for example, there was a lady that I had met, and right out the gate, the the conversation was sexual because of what I said, to her. So she already knew what it was. It was just both of us were interested in the same thing at the same time, and we just did our thing. She'd meet me at this bar down the street from my house, and after the bar, we went to my crib and got it in. So that's where that shit comes into play, where what the person's intentions are before you set up the date. So I think
Right.
that's something good.
I think that's being responsible. I just,
Yeah.
like you said, you know, here's the thing. I think sometimes people struggle with like they'll get with a person that they know is probably good for them, but that's not really what they like.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people's feelings get hurt. And so it's kind of like what Miss AJ said last week, like just kind of be with your tribe and just be, forthright about that.
All right.
Very much so. Very much so.
Well, it's funny. It's like some people, but it just depends on the person, I would say, honestly, because I've been with people that say, I never want to get married again, blah, 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 and be just dead gung ho, just ain't going to do it. And you see them a couple months later and they're married. Or I
Yeah.
had one was like, I got fixed out because I didn't want any more kids. And he showed up at my church with a kid. I was like, I looked at the baby because I looked at the baby and I was like, that can't be. And I looked up at the parent and it was him. And he put his head down and just walked away. I was like, yeah. I said, this is why. This is why folks don't want to be bothered with people nowadays. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, like from a woman's perspective, if you're a woman that like a bad boy, but bad boys are always Mr. Wrong. And so you end up getting with the nice guy. So it's kind of like what I said. You get with somebody that you know is good for you, but that ain't really what you like. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of really up in the air because sometimes it works and then sometimes the good guy gets hurt and vice
Mhm.
versa. With a guy, if you like a woman that, shakes it fast, right? But you trying to get with a woman that is, like Jamie Foxx said, a woman that got her own, she don't need mine. And then that's not really what you like, then that woman gets hurt. The good woman.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, to be honest with you, like most women have went through a bad boy stage where they like just bad boys, and the reason why a lot of women go for the bad boys because they portray masculine qualities opposed to the good guy, you know. So that's the reason why a lot of women go for the bad boys because it's looked at as masculine because they're ready to fight, they're very aggressive, and women look at that as a masculine quality.
Or it could be that the woman, sometimes people have an alter ego.
Mhm.
Sometimes um, you are forced to be one type of way in the eye of the church, your family, your profession.
Mhm.
And that bad boy, is your alter ego. Like that's
Right.
really who you are, but you got to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In all other avenues of your life. So I think that's why you see sometimes, you know, on the news, like if I see a judge that was with a bad boy, I think a month ago, Bernard had said something about there was a judge having sex in the chambers or something. See, that's not surprising to me. To me, that's like what I'm saying. That woman has to uphold a certain reputation in her community and in her profession. But whoever she was having sex with in them chambers, that's really who she is.
Mm. I didn't hear about that. All right, I
I mean,
got oh, hold on. Let me introduce Renard real quick. Renard, you there?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Okay, we want to introduce Mr. Renard Scott to the podcast. What's
hey,
going on,
Bernard.
man?
Well, hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, hey.
So I'm gonna catch you up a little bit. We was Miss Angie had a good question. She asked, should you disclose your intent on as far as dating on the first date or not, or should you just keep that to yourself until you feel like it's feasible to have that conversation with a person?
Well, I can answer that in two different ways. Number one, if you're older than 14 years old, anybody should know that if you go with a man, he gonna want to sleep with you, unless he a homosexual. So let's just get that
Mhm.
out the way. You know, a lot of women be like, I can't believe that you was talking about sex on. No, no, we're grown. You know, stop with the holier than thou. You know, we might want friendship and everything, but yes, we want sex. You know, and we ready anytime the female's ready. So that's number one. Number two, should they disclose? Here's the thing, and some people have asked like that, saying, "Well, what do you want out of a woman? What do you want to?" No, I can't tell you that because you might try to transform yourself to become that person.
Mhm.
It might not be who you truly are, but
Right.
because you want to be with somebody, you'll transform yourself into that person. So I'm not telling you what I want out of a woman. I'm not telling you what I'm expecting. I'm going to see if it comes at the time when I want it to come. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I never advertise publicly like what I would be looking for a woman or, you know, what I don't like or yeah, I will tell her what I don't like. That's what I will, but I won't tell her what kind of woman, is what will win me over. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
I agree with that because that's kind of like
Yeah.
giving somebody the blueprint. My question was more like, I knew a guy one time that told me up front he didn't want to. That's I'm repeating what I already said before you came on, Bernard. I was saying I knew a guy one time that told me up front he didn't want to get married, regardless if things progress exact. And to me, I respect that because that person knows up front they don't want to get. That's what I'm saying. Like, should a person say like what their intentions are? Like, I'll be okay being committed, but I don't want to be married. I don't want to be committed. I just want to stay casual. That's what my question was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely something that should be established. If you, um, you know, you have to make sure you're on the same thing with that. Because less and less people are in the marriage mode. So that's an important question, I guess. A lot of people on the dating sites will do that too. They'll say I'm dating with intent. I definitely want this to lead somewhere. We all know what leading somewhere means. You know what I'm saying? For the female,
Mhm.
for a man, we want it to lead somewhere else. So you know,
But
and
see, that's a good point. So that's a good point, Bernard. So when a man says leading in somewhere, he's basically just saying leading into the bedroom.
yeah, it can be, or with a very few select few of us, especially if he's older, he's less energetic, especially around our age. We'd be like, look, forget it. If I'm dating, then we better get married, and you know, uh, I'd rather just have one person instead of chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're our age. If they're in their 20s, they just want some sex. They might want to get married if they're the Big Bang Theory type. They hang out with Sheldon and Leonard, then they want to get married too. But um, yeah, most of the young cats, if they're honest, they just want to sleep around. The men are just too tired for that are our age, and be like, look, if you want to commit, let's just do it, or something. Generally speaking, but there's different people for different stuff. So you
You know what?
know,
I met a lady, and on my dating profile, I had that I was looking for a long term relationship, open to casual. Okay, so casual means that you meet someone, and if you guys are vibing and you guys decide to have sex, and that's all it is, right? So the lady questioned me, like we had exchanged numbers, and I guess she went back and looked at my profile and was like, "What do you mean by casual?" I'm like, "Well, if I meet a lady and she just wants to have sex, and I want to have sex with her, that's what we're gonna do." And she's like, "That." She's like, "That's ridiculous." I'm like, "How is that
huh?
ridiculous?" I said, "How is that ridiculous if we both are adults and we both want to have sex with each other? How is that like a bad thing? Like I don't get it." She's like, "I guess." I'm like, "I guess." And then she was like, "Well, I'm not." She was like, "Well, I'm good." I'm like, "Okay, well that's fine with me." I said, "How you?" I said, "That's dumb for you to expect me. I'm a single man. That means that I can go and sleep with somebody if I want to." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna
Right.
look at me messed up because I want sex and I'm single? Don't make
But see,
sense.
what would be bothersome to me, um, is basically people that don't respect the fact that you're being honest. So,
Hmm.
I've done the dating apps and I put on there, and I always say it's my opinion and my opinion to have.
Hmm.
That's number one, it's my profile. But I put on there not interested if you're 50 and if you're a male and you're 50 and you've never been married. To me, that's a red flag. And I had so many men basically say that's why you're going to stay single. Well, that may be the case, but to me, I feel like that's why I'm being spared because to me, on my profile, if you are by age 50, a man that has never been married, I think you're non-committal.
Mm.
Do you feel the same
Hmm.
way that with the woman that hasn't been married?
I do
About
not.
50.
I do
Yeah.
not. And let me tell you why, because I knew you was gonna ask me that, Callie.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I don't feel that way is I'm a traditional person, and I believe that the man is the one that will ask the woman to marry them. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, there are several women that never get asked whether they want to or not. So I don't have that same feeling about a woman that I do a man. A man has, he's the one that's supposed to initiate it.
Yeah,
So
they.
if Go
Oh,
ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, Angie. I want to get this point across. What you're saying is very true. They say that women choose who she's gonna have sex with. Men choose who he's gonna spend his life with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the difference.
And that's
Uh-huh.
okay. And to me, what I basically am saying is, if you're a man that's 50 plus that's never been married, like, people were coming at me like I was acting like they was a mass murderer. I'm not saying you're a mass murderer. I'm just saying you're not for me, because to me, I feel like you're non-committal. I just don't know any man that's been on earth 50 years that at some point hasn't found one woman that they said, I want, whether it was the wrong choice or not, whether it worked or not, it's still, you know, getting to the point where you was able to commit to one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to watch his behavior. Like I said, if you meet, Sheldon Cooper's from the Big Bang Theory, one of his friends, little nerdy shy guy, you could tell that's the reason why he's never been married. Maybe he's just not the social kind. You know what I'm saying? He's not a smooth talker. He doesn't, you know, he
Socially
hasn't found
awkward.
anybody. Yeah, socially awkward. And that's what 50-year-old man is still kind of like socially awkward like that. Or they might have went through some stuff, like they may have gotten their heart broken. And that's the reason. But I understand what you're saying. I understand, you know, uh
Yeah, because there's
you
also
know,
some men that just don't ever want to be married. And they, instead of them just being honest about it, they hide behind dating.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know men, I unfortunately, I know men that have seven baby mamas, five baby mamas, ain't never been married. See, that's what I'm saying. Those are men that don't really want to commit to one person. So, like I said, on my profile, I am weeding them people out. Please hit the X. But everybody that has something to say, hey, we can have a little chat behind it. I'm gonna defend how I feel. But like you said, Marzelle, it's your profile. Why you gotta defend your feelings and your
Exactly.
desires?
Exactly. Yep. And you know what? Not only that, I have on my profile, if you were not born with a vagina, do not try to match with me. Okay. I only want women.
Exactly.
That's it. You have this crazy. You gotta put shit like that on your profile because the the element of PQ society will try you.
And I've heard every man that I know has, and every profile I have seen has said that. So I know you are telling the truth. I see that. That's
Yes.
the first thing they say. If you're not born a woman, hit the
Yes.
X.
and
Yes.
I've had that case. I think I told you about that, Marzel, about that one non-melanated friend I had, and then she hooked me up, and then I was like, you do know that's a man. You were like, how dare you? I thought you was better than that. So you don't consider trans women real women? No, I
Hell
don't. That
no.
is not a no.
Right.
What is wrong with y'all? I was like, y'all have gone. Then they start getting off of these the different variations of the alleles of the chromosome, birds the line. I was like, shut up, y'all digging too deep into this. There's man and there's woman. You get pregnant, and the person makes them pregnant. It's as
But
simple
see,
as that.
Venars, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are people arguing with you about your preference? That's what I think
Exactly.
is ridiculous. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you know what? The thing is, man, what's crazy is I literally seen a clip on Facebook earlier this week where a guy said, if a guy looks at a woman and the woman is like 300 pounds and he tells her that he's not interested because she's 300 pounds, is that okay? And the lady on the panel said, no, that's not okay because you shouldn't just you shouldn't discriminate against someone because they're overweight. And then he asked another lady on the panel, he's like, how tall are you? She said, I'm 5'7". He said, okay, so if you say that you want a guy who's 6 foot, is that okay? And the same lady said, that's okay because that's her preference. And I'm like, it's okay for a woman to have preferences, but it's not okay for a man to have a preference? It doesn't make sense.
I think people, again, it's your profile and your preference. So to me, like, give me the blueprint. Like, if somebody says I prefer a slimmer woman, well, that ain't me. So let me go on and just ease on down the road. It's not offensive to me. Like, say what it is you want, and everybody just, be in your tribe, like Miss AJ said.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said, everybody has their preferences. Look, I can tell you some stories. Like I've been on a dating apps for like 6 years. No, for like 7 years now, and I literally have had women who asked me how tall I was, and I said I tell them I'm a strong 5'9". Okay, a strong 5'9". Okay, and
Strong 5'9".
they will unmatch with me because I'm not 6 foot.
Huh.
They will unmatch me. I literally had this happen.
My question is, what's a weak 5'9"? If you're a strong 5'9", what's a weak 5'9"?
A weak 5'9" is without shoes on. They really
Oh.
5'7".
Oh
It's
man.
5'9" with shoes on, Marcel, or 5'9" without shoes.
I'm definitely 5'9" with my shoes on. I'm
Okay.
5'8".
Yeah.
I'm 5'8 3/4 with my shoes off.
There we go. Yeah.
Don't
That's what
forget
it
my
is, Bernard.
3/4.
And so you have on the platform shoes with the fish in them.
Hey,
but
next
yeah.
time, and next time wear some Prince high heels, and then you can really lie.
So jeans with the butts out of them.
Not the
No,
butt
I
out.
ain't gonna go that far.
James.
Hey, I want
No,
let me
we ain't gonna go that far,
let me introduce Lamar. Everybody want to welcome Lamar to the podcast.
What's up? What's up,
Hey, what's
everybody?
going on?
What's up,
Yeah.
everybody,
It's been
man?
so long since I spoke to you, Lamar.
I know, right?
A whole 2 hours?
Right.
And Marcel, I'm gonna make you laugh. Like when men put their height on there, I automatically deduct 2 inches anyhow. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh.
2 inches. Well,
Well,
not.
Hold
Well,
up, we're talking
let
about
me
height.
clarify. Let me clarify. 2 inches in height, not penis size.
well, that's fair because when y'all women say if we ask for y'all body count, say I done had 10 women, 10 men, then we multiply it times 3 because that's the actual number.
No,
Oh
it's
no,
not.
I said, Bernard, you weren't on the show last week. I said that's the number I'm sticking with until I'm dead. 3. So
Look, I have none.
Okay.
No kids.
You identify as a person who only had 3.
I guess I'm a part of the community now.
yeah, join the community, Callie. We're 3 members strong.
Your body count sexual. Whatever.
Man.
Man, that's wild, man. Look, I caught the tail end of what you said, man, and that's wild how women just do that, because the thing about it is that you want a good guy, but then you're gonna put the height and this and that and the other as a standard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Why
but to be
can't
honest
I
with
find a
you,
good guy with what I want?
And to be honest with you, height has nothing to do with dating at all. That's just
That's
like
not true. That's not true.
it has nothing
is
to do
not
with
true.
dating. No, it doesn't have anything to do with the person's personality or anything like that.
It does. It does.
Okay,
so
explain.
And I
so
say-
wait
and I
a minute,
say-
wait a minute, Marcel. Wait a minute. So if a guy puts on his profile that a chick must have big boobs, and don't wear glasses, and
Then I'm
Well,
not the chick for him.
well,
But
but he missing out. But he missing out.
He
on
may
somebody
be, but that's his
sexually.
preference. That's his preference.
And,
But
and,
Lamar-
and guess what? And guess what? And the preference has gotten you where?
Hey, it's got me great places.
But Lamar, let me tell you on the reverse. So I have friends that they don't like for women. They only like women 5'10" or taller. So it's not just women that do that. I know at least 3 men.
I
That-
understand that. But where has that gotten you? Where has it gotten you? I mean, are you married yet?
Who says that was the purpose? That's not always the ultimate goal.
I'm not saying that's the ultimate goal.
I'm just putting it out there.
But I'm just
Okay.
saying too.
Okay, I got. Hold on,
A
Lamar.
lot of times, people put standards on stuff, and sometimes, you miss out because you can put a high standard on something. That's
You're
what I'm
right.
saying.
Sometimes you do. However, for me, I'm 5'1". Okay, I don't want no man that's 5 foot tall.
Okay, I got a
And I
question.
say that because the times I have dated short men, they have the Napoleon syndrome, and I give everybody a chance before I just
sometimes they
lump
be
them in
angry.
that category. But they always show it.
They sometimes
last
be
one of 'em.
angry.
But-
I had to agree with her
okay.
on that.
Yeah,
I got a question, Callie. 2 questions I want you to answer.
Mhm.
For those who don't know what the Napoleon syndrome is, explain what that is.
Short man syndrome. In a nutshell.
You're not happy. You really want to be taller than what you are,
Mhm.
and you act like a taller man, and you're
Try to.
angry.
And
Yes.
it's miserable.
Well,
Okay.
well, I gotta interject. Napoleon was actually 5'9.5", which was tall for French people at the time. It was I'm sorry, I'm a nerd. I gotta do the
You're
history
not a
fact.
nerd.
He was actually a tall person for a Frenchman back then. So that was actually started by the British to make him seem like in a caricature of a cartoon to make him seem like he was just an angry shouting man.
Right.
But but I will say I just want to know, like, what is the advantage of dating a taller person? Like, let's just say if he was 5'9" and you're 5'1", is that fine? Would that be tall enough?
I mean, that's tall enough. I personally like taller men. Shorter men tend not to like shorter women. In my
That's true too.
my experience, it's always the giants that want me. So
okay.
I mean, it's I like a tall guy, but I don't want something freakishly tall. I have dated freakishly tall dudes too, and that was awkward to me because I literally look like a little girl standing beside them, and that makes it look like, oh, he's a pedophile. I've had people come up to me and be like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, why?"
I've dated I dated a woman that was taller than me. She was like 5'10",
Mm-hmm.
and we had a great time. It wasn't no problem, man. It just it all just depends on the person. But the thing is, people always look at height, and I don't think that it's really, really important, me personally, because it's not. You can have a tall asshole.
You can. I got one.
Well, I'm gonna
Can y'all
answer
hear me
Lamar's
still?
question. I'm gonna answer Lamar's question if I can.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm here.
Go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay. So I think Lamar, you were the one that asked why is height so important to women.
Well, both of us actually. Marcel
Okay.
too, but go ahead.
Okay. So for me, I'm gonna break it down in stages. So I'm a sports mom, and I knew I wanted to have tall children to play sports. So as a
Mhm.
result of that, I got with someone that was a nice height, and my son is 6'4". I'm 5'3.5". Now, now that I am out of that having children state, to agree with Callie, I've had men, I've dated men as tall as 6'8". They like shorter women.
Mhm.
The other thing is, and I can say this is not necessarily true, but the average woman thinks that if a man is tall, specific body parts aligned with their height.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and that is a myth.
Yes.
That's a
Big
myth.
big myth.
But people still think that. I mean, to be honest,
I don't know
I
if from what Kelly is saying, it seems like she came across a disappointment.
well, there's a lot of disappointments because
That's what I heard.
yeah. So what we heard is sometimes because you're small is compact,
Mhm.
and
Well,
sometimes if you're tall, you know, it's a hot
Well,
dog leg.
well,
well, apparently the women who dated Prince didn't have a problem with him being short because
That's what I'm
they
saying. Compact.
Right.
they were lying. He had a herd. He had a line of women. So you know, so that milk stuff that's wrong completely out the window, as you just said.
And for a
well,
little
well.
for a little music fact, in Vanity's Six's song "Nasty Girl,"
Uh-huh.
Vanity said a line in that song saying that he had to be 7 inches or more. Okay, so
I knew where you were going with that. That's me why I stopped,
well,
man.
I'm just
well,
saying. I'm just
well,
saying.
well, I don't think that's the case with Prince. Prince, he could say anything. He was like, give me a mansion for free. And then he's just so mesmerizing with his voice and the way he says stuff. He was just so smooth with everything. It did that you would give Prince anything he wanted to. So I don't think height mattered. I don't think girth mattered, anything with him. But I understand the stereotype because I ran across that too as a light skinned black man. They said that, of course, the darker skinned black man has the longer and thicker, but us light skinned dudes is better at eating. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that a
Yeah,
million times.
yeah. Look,
That's true.
I done had many women tell me that they were surprised. Okay, so
Oh, oh.
Well, all I'm gonna say is James Brown wasn't that tall, and
hey,
we
hey, I'm gonna
seen.
log in
and you
because I
seen
gotta
what?
go, but I'm gonna log back in, y'all.
I mean, we seen it running down his leg, so that's what I'm just saying. Like
Oh,
when he's
okay.
performing, yeah.
I never paid attention, so I didn't know.
Might have been like that dude in the Five Heartbeats when he came off stage and he took that thing out of his pants. You know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about?
Mm-mm.
It was what's the name? Duck. You remember? I guess y'all remember that. Y'all gotta lose your black card.
No, we ain't losing our black card. I just don't remember that scene.
Uh,
Well,
it was the part where
I missed all that. You said you saw Eddie, not Eddie Murphy, but James Brown running down his leg. I never seen that, so I don't know.
You need to go back and
I
watch
didn't look at
Living
it.
It.
No, no
Go back to
I'm
Living in
not.
America.
Huh?
Go back to the song Living in America.
Oh, that's when that's for that jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Eh.
uh,
Oh, I'm talking
I
about
ain't
Rocky. Talking about Rocky Ford.
Yeah, go
I've
back and
seen
watch
that a
the
million
video.
times. I ain't
Well,
never seen that. I've
No,
seen
I
him
ain't
in
never
that
seen it either.
movie.
But you know what? We weren't looking for that though either. So
Exactly. Well,
all
I
I
hope
know,
not.
he's like New York City.
And when he was saying New York City, it was moving with him. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Now, the only time I saw that in a man, I was watching this movie. Y'all probably ain't seen this called Labyrinth. It was a Disney movie, and David Bowie played the Goblin King. And everybody talks about how he had them tight pants and he had his girth showing, and that would kind of disgusted that movie with me, you know, because he was showing his swing.
But even Eddie Murphy, think about Eddie Murphy when he had that
raw.
tight, yeah, with that tight leather. I mean, yeah, it's been time and time again. I can go on.
Hmm.
Nick Cannon is how tall?
Is he
I don't
6
know.
foot? I
I
I
don't
think
don't
think
know. He
he's
got
quite
six
6 feet.
figures. He got
Yeah,
7 figures. That's why it is.
yeah. I don't think he's that tall because him and Mariah Carey, I thought they was like kind of right on each other. But
mm,
Jamie
yeah,
Foxx, I mean, you can go on and on and on.
yeah,
Tom Cruise,
yeah.
Oh yeah, he a midget.
Well, so are you naming off all the guys that got huge penises or something?
I'm
Mm.
just saying no. I'm saying,
I'm
I
like,
mean, that's what it sounds like. She just read this somewhere. That's all. She read it
no,
somewhere.
I'm just saying they're all under 6 feet and they are women magnets. So
oh, okay,
it
okay. I'm
must
about
go
to
in
say,
line with
I'm like, well, I never heard nothing about Tom Cruise. Like, where the fuck is this coming from? Okay,
yeah.
all right, yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like, you can't really, determine what's what someone has in their pants by how tall they are or the
Mm-mm.
skin color or whatever, you know. So
Right.
okay, well, I'm gonna piggyback off of this what we're talking about now. So ladies, what's more important, length or girth? If you had to choose one, which one is more important?
They're different.
Okay, explain.
It's just different. I mean, it depends. Uh, I'd be like, it depends on what you're looking for and what I say looking for, like what you feel like that night. Because sometimes you just want somebody just they're different. Now I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't even explain it. You gotta.
Uh,
I
so
can't.
it just depends on if you want somebody to hit your cervix, or you want somebody to
Hmm.
open it up,
Pretty
spread it
much.
open. Okay, okay.
Pretty much. I mean, it's they're not the. It's just not the same. It's not something you may not want all of that. You know.
Okay, well let
Sometimes
me ask you
sometimes
this.
you don't need a horse.
Okay, what so what's the perfect size range in
There is
inches?
no perfect size.
There's
Well,
no
so I'm
so
gonna answer that question too, Marcel. The first
okay,
question.
okay,
Um, so with my three, um, that's the number I'm continuing to stick with. For me, I don't like long dong silver. I have several friends that have had to get vaginal rejuvenation.
Oh
I don't
no.
want anybody stretching me out like that. I prefer a sponge. So I like girth. When a sponge gets wet in the water, it expands. That's what I like. That gets the job done and we keep it moving.
okay. So
Mm.
okay, so let me ask you this: what is too small?
I
That
don't
I mean, okay. What I'm talking about in inches.
That's
You wanna go
almost
first, Callie?
look. You see it right?
A pinky, I see it.
My pinky finger is about an inch and a half, 2 inches long.
Okay,
That's too small.
Well, so for me, to me, it's all in if you know what you're doing with whatever you have. Because there are some men that have very long penises and don't know what to do with it.
That is
You
true.
know, so like if what you have, you can hit my G spot. If you can make me orgasm, not stuck on a specific size. It's knowing what to do with the tools in your toolbox.
Yes, I would. I would agree. However, this ain't gonna do it for me. I don't care how much motion in yo. This ain't gonna do it.
Okay.
That's just my that's my 2 cents.
Well, just to give y'all context, the average
Mm-hmm.
penis size is 5.25 inches long,
Mm-hmm.
and the
What happened
average.
to 6? How did it get reduced from 6? I thought
No,
I thought
no,
it used to
no.
be
This
6.
that's the what most women require is 6, but 5.25 inches is average. You can look it up.
Where,
I,
where
huh?
about are you looking at that?
On Google. Now they do say 3.75 inches flaccid. That means not erect. But the erect penis, the average is 5.25 inches.
Is that based on nationality or across
Yes.
the board?
No, it's across the board. It's across
Okay.
the board. Across the board. And the average vagina is 3 to 4 inches deep.
That statement about men's sizes, I would hate to work for the Census Bureau and I'll be like, I got to measure what? You
I
know?
mean, I'm like, I'm gonna keep a tape measure because I in my car because I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yep. Now that's average. This is like, it by across the board of many different men that have been measured, and that's what the average is. Yeah, but this is all information you can look up yourself. But you have to pay attention
Mm,
to it. It says flaccid or erect. Flaccid means non erect. Erect
come in.
means, you know.
Okay.
So, like, okay, just playing devil's advocate with this question.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, if you're asking a man that, like, you know how we were saying you're my chart, are we now going to ask for your flaccid? Am I saying it right? Flaccid?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, are we now
see,
going to
and
say,
that's
can I
what,
get your? Go ahead, Bernard.
eh, no, because y'all women, get mad when men send you the dick pics and they be like, well, here it is right here, I
But
don't
is
do it
that
because,
flaccid? Okay, but if you get a dick pic, is that flaccid?
Not always.
Most of the time we send pictures with it erect.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
close up. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm gonna start printing out
well,
the pictures and using a ruler and then
One
seeing if
time,
those
man, look,
measurements.
I sent a girl a dick pic, and she asked me, she's like, "Look, I want you to send me a video of you masturbating with
What?
hold on, let me finish. I want you to send me a picture, not a picture, a video of you masturbating, and I want you to put a spoon on your stomach to
the
make sure it was
hell?
me. To make sure it was me."
Well, that brings up
Wow.
a good point because with AI, like, how do we know? How do we know this is not an AI generated penis?
Well, I don't know,
I mean,
man.
not
Like,
you. I'm just saying, like in general, if you get a picture like that,
that's a
how do
little
you
weird,
know?
but that's a little weird. You being a guy and you carrying around other dudes' dicks in your phone. You know what I'm saying? That's a little
Uh,
weird.
Well, I mean,
Well,
mhm.
when people like women have put their heads on another woman's body. So I mean, I can't say that
But
men aren't above that.
no, I'm just saying. I just think that's weird. It's weird as fuck.
it may
Yeah,
be weird,
that's why
but
they
it
had
does.
that show
But it does
Catfishing.
happen. Mm-hmm.
Like
But if you trying to,
you out here dick fishing women.
yeah, but if you trying to get some, but if you trying to get somebody, right? The objective is like, you know, the outcome is the outcome, but you got to get your foot in the door. So if you're trying to get your foot in the door, I mean, like I said, with AI, I mean, we may be in the near future seeing dick fishing, like you said.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess,
Wow.
but catfishing, they always have. They've been doing that with Photoshop before AI. Before that, they just copy and paste the picture off the internet and say this is me. They've been doing that for the longest. You know,
Okay, let me ask this other question. Have either one of you ladies ever walked away from a guy because he was too big? He's like, I'm not trying that.
Plead the fifth with my three people.
Callie, you said what?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
He's like, you're not about to mess up my cervix.
Mm-mm. Let me walk
Mhm.
away. Mm-mm.
Well,
It's
my parents always told me there's children in Africa that ain't got no food. You don't waste nothing.
Oh, all right.
Mm,
All right.
mm. Oh wow.
uh, to be honest with you, like I've like listened to women, and on the internet talk about, oh, they want a horse and all this and all that. The guy gotta have at least 9 inches to please them, and that's not the case. Most women can get pleased from at least 6 inches.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I was saying. Like a lot of times, to your point, Marzel. Um, and I'm gonna answer your question. I was just telling you what my parents said, but
Uh-huh.
no, I think that you have to things that you do as a young woman. You have to look at what's going to impact you as an older woman. So, oftentimes, like I said, I have friends that are now getting vaginal rejuvenation. They were the ones that were with these horses. And so now that they're up in age and single, people are basically like, oh, you know, what do y'all say? What's the term y'all say?
I don't know.
What do y'all say when a woman is like,
Loose.
you fell in or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have never feeling nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. When I hear a guy say that, the first thing I think is he would probably have a little dick, because
No, I
I
think,
because
well,
I've never have feeling a vagina ever in my life.
well, they can lose their elasticity, just like anything, like your skin. So that can happen to women too.
Mm-hmm.
I've
You
Well,
do
never
that,
I
Marzel. You
experienced
heard
that.
him say. You heard him say. I just fell off in there.
yeah,
Huh?
I'd be like, oh, okay. I had a guy at work tell me some shit like that. I'm like, I was like, okay, you must got. I didn't say it to him, but I'm thinking like, yeah, you must be lacking in that area if you fell in.
I mean, I had male
Mm,
friends that are pretty well endowed, and they've said it before. I think there are some women that the elasticity is gone.
Yeah.
mm. I've,
Well,
I've I've been with
Mm.
village donuts where everybody had a turn, and I haven't experienced that yet.
Not
yeah,
the
So
village
I don't
doorknob.
know. So I don't know.
Wow.
yeah. I can't say I've ever experienced that. But if they have, my heart goes out to them, and I'll be praying for them.
Yeah.
No, you won't. No, you
Okay.
won't be praying
Yeah.
for. Stop lying.
So, Marzell,
Huh?
what about the question about the? So, I had a question, gentlemen, before you guys got on. My question was, if you, as a man, if you masturbate all the time because you're single or whatever the reason is, and you get with a woman, how can that woman please you if you know you're used to your hand? I've heard that sometimes men that masturbate all the time, it's hard for them to ejaculate, and it's hard for a woman to please them, because they've masturbated so much.
Well, that's just like if I fix myself a hamburger at the house, but when I go to a restaurant, I'm still gonna like hamburgers, because they fix it better and it's a better experience. So, you know, that's one thing. But you got an actual woman, that's an actual experience. The hand is the virtual reality. The woman is the actual thing.
But using your analogy, you may eat your hamburger quicker at the house than you, and it may take longer for you to eat the hamburger at a restaurant. So, like, what could a woman do? Cut the hamburger in half so you can eat halves instead of a whole burger.
I think that
What?
they're looking for a solution, Venaris.
Yeah.
Uh, what's the problem? Because I mean, the man's still gonna get erect. He's still gonna well for most men, who masturbate all the time, they still and there was one time when I was younger, and then I had super duper energy, and I would do it pretty frequently, but and still be able to perform once I got an actual woman. So I've never I don't know about most men, but I've never had that problem because I'm always freaking horny, whatever. But I guess for some men it desensitizes them, especially if they're watching porn and they have to get off by watching porn. I think that's the main because getting hard is mental. Many people think it's physical. It's actually mostly mental. So if you watching all this weird crap, and then it's like Jake the Snake Roberts, the wrestler. He was talking about how him being a wrestler, he start off with a prostitute, then he need two prostitutes, then he need two prostitutes with toys, and he get home to his wife, and it's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's more mental. So once you get that rush of dopamine from watching all that crazy porn stuff. I ain't got nothing against porn. I'm just saying if you're used to that, you get a regular woman who, I guess is just not the same. So I guess I don't know. It just depends,
So,
you know.
Okay,
so the
okay.
problem, I was gonna say, so the problem is like with a man that doesn't masturbate all the time. When you have sex with a woman, I'm just gonna give a range. I know everybody's got their own little time space, but anywhere from 20 minutes to, let's just say, 20 to 45 minutes to an hour, right? Well, most women, especially as you get older, are not going to be able to stay moist for hours while they're waiting on you to ejaculate. So I'm asking, what is the remedy for women if that man can't ejaculate within, let's just say, an hour because he's used to jacking off so much? Like, it's not natural. Like, when you are in a woman's vagina, you have your rhythm or whatever, and then you ejaculate. But men that are constantly masturbating, that's not happening to them.
I think the fact is not he's out of bullets, so to speak. So he might have jacked off earlier that morning, then you gave him the opportunity he wasn't expecting it. So he be like, he got to us men got to take the opportunity when we can. But if he's already out of bullets and he hadn't had a chance to recharge his body, then that's why he's taking forever because he don't have any bullets to shoot out anymore. That's my guess.
What, you give him insure or something? Like, what? I mean, what do you do to get more bullets?
You you really can't do nothing. Viagra just gonna make them hard. I mean, he could take stuff like creatine and drink plenty of water, and then that can help with the process of replacing the proteins and the seminal fluid. And if you increase the seminal fluid, at least you can ejaculate that, if not actual sperm. But
Okay.
medically speaking, that's how it depends on his ability to recharge. Like I said, creatine is good for recovery. So that's the only thing. But creatine takes at least 24 hours to reset the body too. So I don't know what you could do, you know.
Okay. All right. This is what I'm gonna say. Okay. This is. Uh, I'm gonna give you guys a story. All right. So I was 18. Okay. I was still a virgin, and I ended up meeting a girl, and unexpectedly, I was supposed to hook up with her that day. Didn't know what was going to happen, but I had, masturbated a few times earlier that day. Now this is my first time ever being with a woman. Never like I didn't have a condom on or anything. So me and her are going at it without protection, and I could not have an orgasm. Could not.
Mm.
I
Wow.
was I was really
Wow.
I was pounding away. Could not have an orgasm. Okay. And then this because I was inexperienced, I didn't realize that I was desensitized because I had masturbated so much that same day. So
That's what I'm talking about, Marzel.
okay,
Yes.
I know that's what you're talking about. That's why I'm gonna give
Hmm.
you an answer because
Yes.
neither one of them could give you an answer. so so what he has to do for one, if he's having problems like that, he has to be in tune with his body to know what gets him there. Okay, what gets him there, and you're gonna have to do that to get him there. Cause I guarantee you, if he was jacking off, he could get to that point. So he's gonna have to give you instructions of how to get him there, and that comes from being in tune with your own body. And the same thing happens with women when you guys use the roles all the time. When a man actually comes in a picture and gives you oral, it's hard for you to reach orgasm because you are so desensitized from using your toys.
Heard
So
that.
same thing happens to women. So what in turn what he needs to do is take some time off. Leave your dick alone,
And
okay?
come back later. And come back later.
No
Put
Yes.
it
pun
on
intended.
vacation.
leave
Nah, I ain't say no
leave
vacation.
put put the dick down, okay? Leave it alone
Right.
and let it
Yeah.
heal. Let it heal. Let
Give
Yeah.
it
it get
about
back
2 hours.
sensitive again.
About,
Let
about,
it get
about two
let,
hours.
let it
Huh.
get back sensitive again, and then you'll be all right. But that's what happened to me. So when I knew after that experience, I was like, you know what? I'm not going. If I know that I'm gonna see her, I'm not gonna jack off
I've
for a few
ever,
days before,
Yeah.
so I can get to my orgasm, and it worked every time after that.
Right.
hey,
That's all I'm
hey,
basically
hey,
saying. The
Marzel.
body and the mind. Yeah.
uh-huh.
But the body and the mind has to reset itself. Like I said, with the and you have a dopamine. You have to have a dopamine reset as well in the brain because that's what happens when you're having orgasms. So both the body and the mind has to have a total reset. It takes 48 hours actually for a man to recover from a nut. That's what they say, but it depends on his metabolism too. Dr. Ruth was talking about that one time. So yes, a reset. There's nothing you can do. You can intrude him all you want to, but he's going to need that recharge and reset to heal. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to get on down, y'all. Got to go to Dave and Buster's. I'll let y'all, man.
All right,
Okay.
man.
Have
Okay.
fun.
Have a good
All
one.
right.
Well, that's
All right.
good feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, and it would help if you were to, if you could tell him ahead of time, be like, "Hey, we're gonna get together tomorrow night or whenever." Well, I know that's impossible for women because y'all like spontaneity, and but if you could let him know ahead of time, at least be like every once a week we're gonna do something. So on Saturday, make sure to save the bullets till Saturday.
Can't hear Benaris.
Here,
You
I'm gonna
can't hear me?
retell you. Hold on. Okay, can you hear him now,
Yeah.
Callie? And
Yes, I'm here.
do y'all hear? Do y'all hear Benaris?
Yeah, I heard him.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, and I hate to admit this too. This is embarrassing, but in my last marriage, um, I had to handle it myself too. And so, once she would give me we schedule a weekly ration at first, But then after that, it became non-existent. But she had to at least tell me, hey, you're gonna get some on Saturday night. I'm gonna try to give you some on Saturday night. But so I would schedule it not to, relieve myself ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? So I would actually have some pleasure, because like I said, your mind needs that dopamine. It needs to be reset. And like I said, watching porn and stuff drains that dopamine too. So um, he's gonna have to leave the soldier alone and get him off the crucifix, you know, so he can recharge. So, but yeah,
Yeah, that's the best way is to leave it alone, man. The same thing with women, like when y'all mess with those toys too much, you get desensitized from an actual partner. So
Mm,
because I had
hmm
I had a girl that I was dealing with, and she used to masturbate quite a bit. Like she had a really really high sex drive, and when it came time for us to mess around, like it took her forever to have an orgasm when I gave her head, and that never usually happens. So she told me like it was because she was desensitized from using her toys. And I've noticed a lot of women who masturbate quite a bit have a hard time with that. They use their toys and all that stuff because, let's be honest, y'all, women's sex toys are way better than the men's sex toys. Okay. Like, I mean, is you guys we you guys just have a little rose or a little vibrator, a bullet that'll get you there. You go on a man's a man buy a toy, he gotta buy a whole ass with a hole in it,
oh wow.
or
uh,
or a pocket pussy.
flashlight.
I've never
Hey,
used that rose, but I do have a lot of friends that use it, and that's very interesting what you said because, oftentimes I think they have allowed that rose to replace a man.
yes, yes, and that's the reason why women can go so long without having a sexual partner because the toys beat us out. You know what I'm saying? Like every time. There's no
Hmm.
way that a man can compete with a vibrator. I'm sorry. There's no way.
Nope.
We
That's what
cannot compete with that shit.
Glorilla said that. She said, she tried the rose
She
and she said she got addicted to it.
don't use her as a reference.
Well,
Don't
but
use
but
her.
let's jump into it though. Let's jump into it. So why is it so difficult? Like I told somebody the other day, what's what's disappointing to me as I consider myself to be a good woman is that men and women are strategizing all these different games instead of just getting together and loving each other.
That's just,
Yeah.
that's just because people want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be able to do what the fuck they want to do without any having to answer to anybody.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
Yeah. I
But
also
everybody's still
see,
single, right? Yep.
well, I see it a problem that can be a problem too. And I hate to put it like this, but a lot of these feminist groups will make it difficult for the man to date because the man will give him some flowers and oh, you know what that man, that mean that man trying to do this and he really don't mean this. And they get all these, especially with like social media, they'll try to give women advice on what men are doing, and it's always some ugly broad who can't get a man anyway, so she up there, telling the women that everything men do is wrong. You know, you have these men who get bad advice and teach them how to be players instead of how to be lovers. And so social media and all these influences is really killing, the 1990s. love world. You know what I'm saying? So,
But
um,
I think to add to that, Bernard's, um, I'm dating, and we've talked about this a couple of times, but I just want to bring this back up again. Oftentimes there is such a you can't even get out of the gate because there is such a debate about something as simple as a dinner, right? And so to me, there are also some men that want to be the woman. I had a conversation with someone last week, and they were asking, or actually it was this week, they were asking, why does the man always have to pay? And the discussion that we had was, if the man is courting the woman, the man should pay. Now, once you get into a relationship, women are open to their pocketbook. But because women know that men sometimes date multiple people, they're not open to paying like in the beginning. So, what are you all's thoughts about that?
well, if you invite the person on the date, you pay for it. And I guess men and women supposed to be equal nowadays, according to the feminist group. They say, a lot of the feminists, I dated some feminists, and they were getting mad at me for opening their door. So that perpetuates the stereotype that all women are weaker than men and all that stuff. And that's why they rather be with the bear, you know. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But if you the one to invite them out, you pay for it. So that's the only fair way.
Yeah, the person who invites the person out on a date should be the one that's paying. That doesn't make
Right.
sense for me to ask you out and expect you to pay because I don't know if you have money to pay for my meal too.
Exactly.
So,
I
how many
agree.
times should the man pay? Like, on if you're dating, how many times is there an expectation that the man's supposed to pay?
I think
Bef-
every time, unless it's his birthday or something.
Agreed.
There's a lot of men out there. There are a lot of men out there that disagree with that. We need
Yeah,
to invite them to the show because I would love to have them hear the men
yeah.
on
I
this
think
show's.
I think that's I think that's some bitch made nigga shit. To be honest with you, that's just my personal opinion. It's a lot. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that shit going on nowadays, where niggas are expecting women to do everything for them. Like,
Hmm.
like they stay at home while the woman go to work and bring back, the groceries and all that stuff and cook and all. No, I don't agree with none of this new age shit at all. I
Now
don't
I
agree
have
with
to
it.
This is
say, go ahead, Bernard.
No, I was making a joke. Unless it's one of them situations where you seen on social media where you invite the woman out and the woman bring her friends in, or
Hell no.
some yeah, or the situations where you know she order a bunch of stuff and say, "I got to bring this home to my kids." You ain't gonna let my kids starve too, are you? You're like, "Well, you paying for this," you know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm not ruling out that that happens sometimes, but it's not all the time. And I think, like, you know, I've done the dating app thing. I think when you're chatting, that's part of the vetting. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so that's why, sometimes people get out of the chat too quick. Like, sometimes they look at the physical and they're like, hey, let's go and exchange numbers. And maybe people should stay in chats a little bit longer so you can kind of get an ideal. Like, to me, I don't like when men feel like, and I don't try to bust people over the back with a meal, right? I do something like Longhorn or something like that, right? So, but I don't like when men feel like I'm supposed to go to bed with them because they got me a ribeye steak.
Yeah. Now, I agree with you, but if she got a ribeye steak, lobster and shrimp, oh, somebody getting fucked tonight. I'm sorry. I'm
But if it's just
sorry.
lobster, but if it's just steak, if it's just steak, but she get grace if it's just a steak.
Oh man, somebody getting fucked tonight. I'm sorry.
It won't be
I'm
me.
Well,
sorry.
but if it's just ribeye,
No,
she get
no,
grace. Okay.
no.
Well,
I'm
it,
just
it,
joking.
it, it,
Hold on. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I just had to. I had to say something funny. But I don't feel like I'm not one of these guys that feel like if you you owe me, if I spend $90 on your meal, you owe me $90 worth of pussy. I don't feel like that. But you know, that you have kind of spent a lot of money, a lot of my money. So I hope eventually, it's gonna lead to that. Maybe not maybe not that night, but I hope that's in consideration in the back of your mind. Like, you know what? He really like showed me a good time. We had good conversation. You know, I think I might give him some. That's the thing. Cause I'm telling you, I've taken women to Juicy Crab, okay, and didn't get nothing. Okay.
Right.
I learned from that. I'm not gonna take a woman on an too expensive restaurant the first date, okay? Because I don't know where this is gonna lead. For all I know, you could be using me for a meal.
But okay, I want to
Go
touch
ahead,
base
go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
Okay. But let's say, for example, a woman can buy her own juicy crab, right?
Right.
Uh-huh.
A woman is not looking. I'm not saying all women. I just have to, you know, just say this for the women. If a woman works every day and she can afford her own juicy crab, it is insulting to women to feel like you can't take me somewhere I can pay for my own meal, especially on a first date. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's where, again, if men aren't dating in volumes, then this becomes a mute point. To me, when I hear men talk about this whole meal thing, it makes me feel like Alvin Iverson. We talking about basketball? Like it's food. It's not like
Right.
it's a car. It's food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well,
And
I have to say, hold on. I was just joking.
no. I'm not
But it
saying you. I'm
Okay,
right.
saying
okay.
men.
But
I'm
it's a lot
saying
of men
men.
that say that and mean
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I
No,
And
no,
wouldn't.
they
Yeah,
mean it.
they mean it. Trust me, they mean it.
no. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. That's the way that you should even think. Just because you spend some money on a woman don't mean that she owes you what's in between her legs. I don't know. I don't agree with that. And
Like I'm
this is coming from a guy who has daughters. Okay.
right, right.
So when I said that, I was joking. So I want to clarify that. But the whole thing is, at the same time, a lot of women have have messed a lot of men's mindset up because of them using the man for free meals, and that's why these guys have this mindset like, well, hey, if I'm spending this money on this meal, she gonna have to give up something. That's
Okay,
why guys think like that.
but let me play devil's advocate. And I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Mhm.
So when a woman is preparing for a date, most of the time she's going to get her nails done, her
Mhm.
toes done, her hair done. Sometimes may buy an outfit, maybe get some new makeup, maybe not, right? But the hair and nails and toes by itself is over $100 for most women.
Right.
Okay.
So in preparation for a date, a woman has not even to mention the gas to get there, right? So
mm-hmm.
in preparation for a date, a woman has already done everything to make herself, put her best foot forward on that first date. So at best, they are expecting nice cuisine. So when a man comes to me and says, "Well, can you pay?" Right? Depending on if I like the person or not, sometimes will go and pay and then be like, bye, nigga, bye. And I do that intentionally to basically show, like, you ain't pimping me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it's food. It's
Right.
food.
Right, right. The way I see it, any man that says, "Well, I spent a lot of money to get something from the woman," there's you can cut out the middleman. There's women you could just pay and say, "Hey, the date was $50. How about I just give you the $50 and we do the deal?" You know what I'm saying? If that's all you after. So, it shouldn't be a gamble for vagina. It should be just I wanted to go to this restaurant anyway, so let's just go. You like it, I like it. Let's just go here, and your company is the extra. But
And
like I
I'm,
said, if you just
yeah.
that's the way I feel. You know.
And
Yeah.
for like the STKs and stuff like that, I completely understand the man's perspective. But I want to use a middle of the road Cheesecake Factory, Longhorn, stuff like that, Outback. Those
Yeah.
places are less than $100. So
Right.
I'm just saying, from a woman's perspective, she has already invested that to meet you. And I don't think
Yeah.
Um,
men see that part. Because if
Yeah.
somebody came in with some raggedy toes, raggedy nails, hair looking raggedy, y'all would be like, what the?
Well, I'm not really into the nails and the toes. I'm not into that, but I am into like her hair, her makeup, and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's important to me. But I don't care about her nails and her toes being done.
I don't care about the nails and the toes. I'm just did you get a toothbrush and some dental floss and some mouthwash?
Yeah, yep, yep,
That's more than anything.
right. Do you smell
Because I done
good?
seen some bad B words and had halitosis mixed with COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
yeah, so I don't I don't really care about all that other stuff. So yeah.
Okay, well, but hair, but so like, but hair, it costs a lot for hair too, whether it's a weave, braids,
Hmm.
Hmm.
natural, whatever. That's $100 minimum for
Right.
most women.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
it's damn near the same price for us men with haircuts. It's gone off to 40, $45. With tip is 50.
Yeah.
That's why I learned how to cut mine myself when I had my hair short.
Yeah,
You can cut mine this weekend.
so I'm just saying that women just expect, at least to recover what they have put out to get themselves prepared for the date. That's all.
Right.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Well, that's why Chingy say on his first day he take his woman to McDonald's and see if they like him. So it's like if they stick together after McDonald's, they stick together through anything.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'll leave it alone.
So let's talk about like status. So for the men, because I've heard that men don't care what you do for a living as long as you look good.
Not exactly. You got to have a job. So, all this, you got to pay my bills within the first month. Or I have met a lot of women who do this. How you doing? Oh, I'm not doing too good. I ain't got a job and I got 3 kids and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Every time I hear I don't know what I'm gonna do, that means you're unemployed and you ain't got nothing. But if you got your own house, your own car, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
uh, for me, I don't care what she does as long as she's not a prostitute.
Okay. So see, you
Yeah.
are okay.
I don't care
Perfect.
what she does as long as she's not a prostitute. You know.
Wait a
I
minute, you saying you want to date Kyra Newell?
um she's a porn star. She's not necessarily a prostitute. When
Oh,
I say a prostitute,
they're the
I'm
same
talking
thing.
about, I'm saying someone who stands on a corner and that's what I'm talking about.
She stands on the set.
Yeah, yeah. I would date her. I don't care.
So money is not important. That's I'm trying to get to, like, with
No.
women. Okay. So with women, Callie, how you feel about that from the woman's perspective?
Well, I I agree with pretty much everything you said. Um, I just I'm at a loss for words today
It's okay.
because I'm just blown by some of the things that I'm hearing, and because I think everything goes both ways. Um, as far as like you said, Marzel, I'll date pretty much anybody as long as they're not a hooker. But then the porn star will be okay. Same thing, different address. Maybe I'm just I don't know. Am I missing something?
No, hold on.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I mean, hold on.
Okay.
I'm okay. Can you hear her, Callie?
Yeah.
You can hear everybody? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Venaris, but yeah. Um
Well, I I think it's so. I don't want to sound like Bernard always says a feminist, but financial stability is important to me. Um, I like Bernard said when a woman says, "I don't know what I'm gonna do," he feels like they're unemployed or whatever, and that's like a turn off. For me, a turn off is you want to come over to the crib and watch Netflix. No, I don't. I can watch Netflix in my own house. Like, in the beginning when you're dating, you should be dating. Dating is not to me, dating is not necessarily like you always got to go out to eat or to a movie or something. Dating, I mean, it's warm. Dating can be like Midnight Star was here in Woodstock. Dating can be going to a free concert.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
Dating can be walking in your downtown at night with the lights looking nice or just, whatever. But getting out of the house. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to go from my house to your house. That's not dating to me.
Right. At all.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
What if y'all go? But it's been shown that most couples who stay married longer, their first dates are usually the cheapest places. Like they'll go to like a walk in the park or a hike or
Is Venard's handsome?
somewhere free. Some even go to
Yeah.
library dates.
Right. I agree. I think those are some of the best days of ours.
I do
Everything
too.
doesn't have to cost money.
Yeah, and I don't mind. If like I said, it has to be somewhere I want to go. Which unless I date nerds, ain't no woman gonna want to go to meet at the arcade anyway. So, joking but not joking. But if I go to like a concert, if it's like the Earth, Wind and Fire, and the tickets are $120 a piece, yeah, I take them. Because I want to go to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not really how much you spend on a date; it's the experience. That's what's most important.
That's a good point right there.
Yep.
Yeah. 'Cause, you know, we can make a $1 million experience out of $0.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, Mazil and left.
There he is. He's coming back.
Yeah. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I've often wondered. I was going to ask a question. I know you said it was freestyle. You know, like has anybody ever dated somebody like for a month and then they find out that they have a habit or something that's like a serious pet peeve? It isn't like a red flag, but like a pet peeve. Let's just say they bite their nails or, do something disgusting or they have an opinion. Some people find, if they have a difference in religion, that's a pet peeve to them. So I guess that's my question. Has it ever been a relationship that was broken off that you really like, but a pet peeve kind of kept it from keep on going? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um, if a person is doing something that's a pet peeve of mine, I'm gonna leave them alone because it's all it's gonna do is grow and grow. As time goes on, you're wasting your time.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, I was thinking of something like how you have like a pet peeve. It's nothing major, but it's something so annoying. Like when somebody talks and they grind their teeth, or you know, just to the point where you be like, I can't be with this person, or you find out they have a sixth toe or something like that. I've known people that's like that. I thought she was fine, that I find out she had ingrown toenails, and I was like, no, I just can't deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody has their things, their deal breakers.
Yeah.
Callie, are you still there?
What is your one going on?
What were y'all saying about deal breakers?
I was just saying
Huh?
that everybody has their deal breakers, what they can and cannot deal with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are yours?
Mhm.
Who? Me?
Uh-huh.
A liar. Um, somebody who is disrespectful, and that's pretty much it. The liars and disrespectful. I can't deal with that. That's a huge turnoff for me. And bad hygiene.
What about you, Callie?
That's a
Ooh,
big
definitely hygiene,
Can't hear her.
liars,
one.
somebody that's cheap. I've found that I've dated guys that were like, I'm keeping a tab. I'm like, are you serious? You're keeping a tab of how much money you're spending just for me?
Wow. Yeah, that's a little crazy.
What
Right.
did she say? I couldn't hear her.
She said that someone who keeps a tab, that's a deal breaker for her.
Hello?
What do you mean a tab? Like,
Like,
elaborate.
can you hear me, Angie? Angie?
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to reset it. Can you hear
Can you hear me
Callie
now,
now?
Angie?
Say something,
Angie?
Angie?
Callie. Say something, Callie.
Can you hear me?
No, I still can't hear her.
Okay, hold on.
Tell her to check the.
Okay, Angie, can you Callie say something? Can you hear her?
Angie, can you hear me?
I still can't hear her. I'm sorry.
Wow. I don't
Okay.
know.
Let me see if I can refresh. Hold on.
See if Benares can say something if I can hear him.
Benares.
Angie, can
Callie.
you hear me now? Hello?
Angie,
Only,
can you hear
only
Callie?
person I can hear is you.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Can everybody hear everybody?
Yep.
Angie, can you hear Callie? Callie, say something.
Can you hear me? Angie? No, Veneris, can you hear me? Marzel,
Yep.
can you
I
hear
can hear
me?
you.
Yeah. Angie, you
Okay.
might have to leave and come back.
I can hear her.
But Callie can't hear
I can hear all of
Oh,
y'all.
okay.
her. Okay. Angie, can you hear Callie?
Uh-oh. I don't think. She said she can't hear. She just wrote in the text.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I might have to just end the podcast because my battery's running low anyway.
All
So
right.
So yeah, well, this was another good episode, guys. I appreciate everybody joining. We'll be doing the same thing next Saturday. So around us at 2:00. So we'll have a little bit more context of what we're going to talk about next week. But I look forward to everybody being a part of it.
Definitely.
Venaris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, you want to let us know about something you got going on before we end?
Yeah, I don't think because I'm in the car on my phone. I don't think I could show the trailer. But if
Okay.
the episode 3 is on its way, episode 2 has already been.
Yeah, you breaking up, man.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we're gonna end the podcast. Like I said, because my battery's running low, and then plus I got some stuff I gotta take care of. But
yeah.
it's always good to have you guys on here. I
Thank you.
appreciate you guys for making this possible for me, and we'll catch you next week. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks everybody for watching.
All right.
All right.
Have
Have
a
a
great
good one,
day,
y'all.
everybody.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye.